Will we be ourselves? Now, this was a question, I phrased it, that kind of encapsulates about 12 questions. Do I have my name? Do I have my relationships? Do I have my memories? Am I recognizable to others who knew me? Yes, 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 okay? Again, if you answer no to any of those things, then you're not you anymore. And if you're not you, then who's being rewarded? And if I receive the reward of heaven, what does that reward mean to me if I'm not me anymore? And so that just doesn't make any sense. But that's just thinking. Now let's see, can I go to Scripture and kind of find any kind of guidance on this? We have 3 people in Scripture, and I'm not counting Jesus. We have 3 people in Scripture that we see after they've died, okay? Now, this is not a proof for ghosts. It's not a proof for people coming back to us in our life now. Now, I'm not here to comment on whatever experience you may have had and say it's right or wrong. That's between you and the Lord. I do know that happened 3 times in 1,500 years of biblical history. So clearly, God is not using appearances of people who've gone on to the afterlife as a way of doing things. That should be seen as extremely rare and even miraculous, the supernatural. Having said that, we do see a couple of times. We see Samuel come back to Saul. We see Moses and Elijah. Elijah's a little tricky because Elijah didn't die, but he did go to the afterlife. Moses and Elijah, we see with Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration. And when we see them, do you know what we see? Their name, their face, their history, their personality is entirely intact. They are in the afterlife who they were in this life and recognizable as that to anybody who sees them. A story we're going to look at next week is a story. It's not necessarily true. It's a parable, but Jesus tells no parables that don't relate with reality. And in that, there are people in the afterlife. There are recognizable names, faces. They even talk about their history. They even talk about their life in this life. So yes, that would be something biblical I would be drawing from to say all of that is intact. Now, we get a future body. We get a future body, and that hasn't happened yet. So what body are they in? I would say they're in some kind of temporary body. They're in some kind of intermediate body. Neither of those words or ideas is found in Scripture, but yet we see these people. So it appears that when we die, we get some kind of perfect body. A temporary body. You know, to me, the greatest evidence that I'm going to be me, look like me, and recognizable to everybody and have my history is Jesus. I'm created in the image of Jesus. Jesus was resurrected into his perfect, eternal, glorified body. And when the disciples saw him, they didn't look at him and go, wow, in eternity we have 3 arms. Wow, in eternity you don't look anything like you did. No, folks, those interactions are teaching us something. They knew Jesus for who Jesus was and what he was. Very interesting question. I'm not sure